Good morning, sir. My name is Oliviana sartika. I'm from class Accounting Morning B, study ID 1610426377. Sitting how I am invite the liquid of answer this equation given. The equation set of the parts, namely equation on part A, details with the and with activities in the classroom. Equation of part B, details with the accounting storing. Equation of part C, details with accounting article and accounting video. I start to answer the equation on part A. The first equation is, do you invest the liquid of English for accounting? If yes, how often do you add the liquid of English for accounting? And why must you add the liquid? And what difference have you got from typing the letter of English from accounting? Well, I am answer to the question on number 1 is her and was added English accounting concerts that is in the process of a full without a single on not being formed. The reason I added English is accounting so I could take the final exam and also what to know the economics in English. The balance that I can get in learning English accounting. This is, I have been able to write in English well from before, have known and names of accounts. Answer, will they all my answer to the question number 1 and then process to the equation number 2. Do you have question assuming given? If yes, how many video record have you do? Mention the returns and explain them in story. Well, I am addressing my answer to the question and number 2 is her have to teach 3/5 to do it engagements. Number 1, accounting. Accounting is this systematic and comprehensive recording of financial transaction pending to a business. Number 2, an article is a price of waiting that is published in an newspaper of Amazon. Number 3, accounting cycle. The accounting cycle is a quantitative process of detailed analysis and recording the accounting activities of a company. Number 4, accounting is important for business as a way to document financial activity and learn from the numbers. Number 5, in financial accounting, an asset in annually records wandered by the business, anything typable of intangible that can be wandered or contacted to product people and that is helped by a company to provide activity accounting for is an asset. Number 6, accounting business. The explanation of accounting business will introduce you to some business accounting principles, accounting concepts, and accounting terminology. Number 7, a balance sheet is a financial statement that represents a company asset, liability, and shareholders' equity at a specific point in time and proper a business of combating research operator and evaluating its capital activity. Number 8. The general process of the financial statement is to provide information about the result of operation, financial position, and assess flow of an accounting organization. Number 9. A liability account the result takes estimated amount that a company will have to save to result of records a product doing it is wealthy prevalent. Number 10. A business entity is an organization that whose economic reasons of imports to provide goods of service to customers in the charge of money or other goods and services. Number 11. Financial accounting is the process of recording, summarizing, and reporting the merit of transactions resulting from business operation over a period of time. Number 12. A mortgage payable is the liability of a property owner to buy a loan that is secured by recovery from the perspective of the borrowers. The record is considered a long-time liability. Number 13. A long-time liabilities definition. Obligation of the enterprise that are not payable within on years of the balance sheet data. 2 expense are bonds payable and a long time notes payable. Number 14. The works amounts for free only discuss currently with definition spec across organisms expense constances audio procrastination with of the die and more. Number 15. Question liabilities are a company's data of obligations that are due within 1 year of within a normal expression exactly. Number 16. Rules of accounting that rules be followed in representation of all accounts and financial statement. Number 17. Worthy liability definition. Liability account the respond the assessment amount the company will be to spend to record of report a product doing. It is worth pride the liability amount is recorded at the time of the sale. Number 18. Differs and front of business a business entry is an organization that uses economic reasons or enforce to report goods of service to customers is exchange of money or other goods and service. Number 11. Business 19. Number 19. Business organization. On entity format from the process of R3 on completely authorized Swiss an organization is rated on system of LV, government control and expense poverty records and incorporation. Number 20. A mortgage payable is the liability of a party onward to pay a loan that is equity by reference from the respective of the broad. The mortgage is considered a long-term liability. Number 21. Liability. A liability in general is an obligation to or something that you owe somebody else. Number 22. Liabilities. Explicit liabilities are a vital expense of a company balance sheet that are quit of finances of taxation and bribe for legal expansion. Number 23. In management accounting or managerial accounting, managers use the proofs of accounting information in order to borrow informed transfer before that details matters within three organizations which aid the management and province of control functions. Number 24. Why accounting information business even a great amount of time and money in recording trade. Financial transaction accounting is explainedly informed from recording the financial transaction is in a business. Number 25. Closing entry. A closing entry is a journal entry made at the end of accounting process that involves citing the data from the employee account on the income statement to payment accounts on the balance sheet. Number 26. Capital market. Capital market are firms where savings and investments are cancelled but when the equities how have capital and those how are in net of capital. Number 27. Accountability in a known the tables accounting responsibility and it can be pressure of very public. Number 28. Liability. A liability in general in a obligation to or sometimes that you're somebody else. 29. Accounting and financial management are related to the fact that accounting is an informed input in financial decision making. Accounting involves into reporting and examining past financial records versus financial asset management inflows into planning to help in various financial activities. Number 29. 3T. Enforce information. The enforce relation session provides information to records and for title, stockholders, security analysis, and anyone who is interested in the financial and operating performance of the company. Number 31. The income summary. Income summary accounts in a temporary account into which all income statement records and expense. Accounts are stats at the end of an accounting period. The net amount transferred into the income summary account equals the net profit or net loss that the business incurred during the period. Thus, switching records out of the income statement means debiting that reference account for the total amount of requests recorded in the profit and treating the income summary accounts. Number 22. Accountant. An accountant is a professional who performs accounting functions as audit or financial statement analysis. Accountants can earn be involved with an accounting firm of a large company with an internal accounting department, or 3 can set of an individual practice. 3. Definition of a long-term liability. A long-term liability is an obligation resulting from a past event that is not due within 1 year of the date of the balance sheet, or not due within the company of trusting Excel. If it is longer than 1 year, long-term liabilities are always known as no-quantity liabilities. Number 34. Cushion and long-term liabilities. Winning a business is not just about knowing how to make your goods from profit, but also knowing how to manage your finances. This needs that whether you're like in or not. You need to know the times within the finances, what to be able to analyze response, and the type you business study. Number 35. Difference statement. Account private equiper is an equiper below the loan surface that is students with layers of imprescribable material adverts about and below the equiper, causing to be under forces so that when the equiper is penetrated by an wheel, the water will rise about the top of the equiper. Answer. Well, that's all my answer to the question number 2, and then proceed to the question number 3. You have been asked to song is group and video record your song. Mention the titles of your song and explanation with the song title you. Well, I am auditions. My answer to the question on number 3 is her song title I Wake Up, which I said from the lyrics of the song is after waking up, wishing your breaks, brush your teeth, combing your hair, eating breakfast, and going straight to school. There's the activity he always does every morning. Song title Water John, with the English say is Water John's water brother is still asleep or not. The morning bell rings. Answer. Well, there is all my answer to the question number 3. And then proceed to the question number 4. Do you do video record in English for accounting? If yes, mention the titles of the article and the video you have video record and explain story every article or video you have video record. How many video recordings have you do? Why? Well, my audience, my answer to the question on number 4 is her. I did video recording of accounting English to the tiling 335. Definition General Journal. A general journal is used to record unique general entries. They can't be processed in a more efficient manner. For expense, excess visits, sales in suite, orders in progress request, and orders can be recorded in a compatible accounting system when they document and result. Number 2, managerial accounting. Managerial accounting, also known as cost accounting, in the process of identifying, measuring, analysis, interpreting, and communication information of managers for the business of an organization goal. Number 3, information about the transaction and event of a business in a COVID. The summarized information that are used by restaurant interested in the country, but you like do not raise the comfort fee of expense tax. Number 4, financial accounting. Consider the financial accounting is triggered toward a board burst of explain answer. When of one control the equity proposition of results or have accounts to detailing details. Their ability to understand and have confidence in results is directly dependent on centralization of the financial and plantains that are used to process the reports. Without switch translation weapons of the part companies could be hard to understand and even harder to comprehend. Number 5. Managerial accounting. Managerial accounting information is entered to survive the specific and right needs of management. Business managements are equipped with business planning, controlling, and description marking. As with the many the first specific response. Greatest product sorting that and other details that are general, not response on the expense business. Further, management money in the formats under which switch information into B account and process. Number 6. Accounting. Accounting is in the systematic and comprehensive recording of financial transactions pertaining to a business. Number 7. An article is a piece of writing that improbable in an unsupervised of managing. Number 9. Number 8. Accounting cycle. The accounting cycle is a quantitative process of inventory analysis and recording the accounting events of a company. Number 9. Accounting is informed of business as a way to document financial activity and learning from the numbers. Number 10. In financial accounting, an asset is any record one did by the business, anything type of interval that can be owned or controlled to product and that is held by a company to product activity economy hold is an asset. Number 11. Accounting business. This explanation of accounting business will introduce you to some business accounting principle, accounting contracts, and accounting terminology. Number 12. A balance sheet in a financial statement that records a company's asset, liabilities, and holders' equity at a specific point in time and provide a business of company record of record and evolving it is capital X3. Number 13. The general purpose of the financial statement is to provide information about the result of operation, financial evolution, and asset flows of an organization. Number 14. Financial accounting is the process of recording, summarizing, and recording the merit of transaction result from business operation over a period of time. Number 15 and 15. A mortgage payable is the liability of a property over to pay off life that is equipped by reports from the perspective of the borrowers. The mortgage is some kind a long-term liability. Number 15. Current liabilities are a company details of obligation that are due within 1 year of within of normal operating equity, operating cycle. Number 17, rule of accounting that result behold in reportation of all economic and financial statement. Number 18, Wargate liability definition. A liability account the result the estimate amount that a company will have to spend to record cash a product doing its void. The liability amount is recorded at the time of the sale. Number 9, 10, 19. Types and point of business entities is an organization that uses economic records of inputs to record bonus or surprise to constraints in expense from money of other goods and surprise. Number 20, business organization. An equity format from the purpose of conferring on control and phrase Swiss and organization in predicate on sometimes of all law governing control and expense, profit rates, and income protection. Number 21, a mortgage payable is the liability of a person owed to buy a loan that is secured by profits from the perspective of the borrower. The mortgage is considered a long-term liability. Number 22, liability. A liability in general is an obligation to or sometimes you somebody else. Number 23, liabilities explained. Liabilities are a vital expense of a company because there are occur between sides of traction and pay of lyric expansions. Number 24, in management accounting, a managerial accounting. Management is the provision of accounting information in order to better inform time savers before they discuss matters within tweet organization, which industry management and promotes of control by quantitation. 25. Many accounting important business effort a general amount of time and money in recording their financial transaction. Accounting is expensive in format of recording the financial accounts in a business. Number 26, closing entry. A closing entry is a journal entry made at the end of accounting produce that includes sheets fitting that from temporary accounts on the income statement to payment accounts on the balance sheet. Number 23, 27, capital market. Capital market are firms where savings and impairment are second Batman. They equity how have capital and threshold are in need of capital. Number 28. Accountability is a noun that despises accounting records foreseeable and it can be process of very public. Number 29. Liability. A liability in general is an obligation to or sometimes that you own somebody's asset. Number 3 is her song title I Wake Up. Which is said from the reality of the song is after warning, upversing your packs, abuse your thought, combining your hair, acting breakfast and going straight to school. The activity a whole always does every morning. Number 20, 31 song title. Brother John with the Elvis says whether John brother is titles aspect or not. The morning bell rings. Number 32. 32 Accounting equitation. The accounting equitation is considered to be the foundation of the double entry accounting system. The accounting equitation shows on a company balance sheet whereas the total of all the company's assets equals the sum of the company liabilities and shareholders' equity. Number 30. Accountability. Accountability. The obligation of an individual or organization to account of its activity except record foreseeable for time and to discuss the result in a transaction wonders. It always includes the responsibility for many of the entity producers. Number 34. Accounting workshop. An accounting workshop in a tool used to help broken servers and accountants complete the accounting cycle and process years and respond like unsigned trial balance, journal, adjusting journal entries, adjusting and trial balance and financial statement. Number 35. The story of accounting or accountancy is thousands of years old and can be traced to accounting. The reality, the types of accounting that back to account most both pioneer and is closer trail to default payments. The reality development of accounting details back to ancient Mesopotamia and is equally recalled to default payments, inverting account and money and royalty eruditing sometimes by the activity agents and by holdings that by the times of the Roman Empire, the government had accounts to details financial information. Answer: will thus all. My answer to the question number 4. The time record the to the equation number 5. Mention and explain the materials you have studied from your library and what details have you got from the materials you have studied. Well, my educates my answer to the question number 5 is how material that I have gotten from learning is class is about accounting is the systematic and comprehensive recording of financial transaction pertaining to a business. General journal. A general journal is used to record Wins journal entries. They cannot be plots in a more empty manner. For expense excess written. Silence is brought in suite provides in process. Record and others can be resolved in a complicated accounting system when the document are processed. Answer. Will now I answer the equation on part B. Equation on part B. The equation details with the accounting story. Will that's all my answer to the equation number 1. Open his line and your words give the realms when you answer the equation you're made in the listening https accounting.com or accounting equation and equity. Well, my answer to the equation on number 1 is the number 1. The over invoice personal money in the business. Increase in asset equity does not have on equity. Increase in unraised equity because this in a investment the interest is active asset and active capital. Number 2, the company result cash from a bank loan. Asset increases, liabilities unpledged, and ours equity is success. Number 3, within the following with cause owners equity to increase, sweat others owners income, which can make others equity interest income. Answer. I will test my answer to the equation number 2. Program business transaction flowing is a list of common transaction will by educations. My answer to the equation on number 2 is 1. Rival cash flow colon stroke and increase in asset and in increases in one's equity. 2. Forecast hard supplies of cash, editors in on cash and editors in hours of equity. 3. Forecast equipment of account, the difference in an asset and the service in hours equity. 4. Building constants or surprise on account, an interest in asset and an increase in hours equity. 5. Crowded cross score and account, a debtors in an asset and a debtors in a liability. 6. Record cash from equipments, bill or accounts, an increase in an asset and an increase in our equity. 7. Fight right of the amounts, a debtors in a asset and a debtors in our equity. 8. Requite payment of surplus from cash shortages, an increase in asset and increases in one's equity. 9. Fight cash in divided, a debtors in an asset and a debtors in ours as equity. Answer: I will outweigh. My answer to the question number 3 is hard. Problem 6. Debit and credit flowing is a least common accounting transaction. Answer: 1. Is use of common stroke to X harder from cash. Cash in debit and capital are credit. The reason is because asset increase and capital also increase. Payment of rate for the coin modes. The version of term on the debit and cash on credit. The reason is. My answer to the question on number 3 is for problem 6. Debit and credit flowing is a least common accounting transaction. A is a switch of a common take to us holders of cash in debit and capital are the credit. The reason is balance sheet, interest and capital also interest. B. Payment of rest for the equipment month. The version of rent on debit and cash on credit. The reason is. C. Progress of quiz supplies on accounts. Supplies on debit and cash in credit. The reason is balance. The equipment increase with the asset that there is. D. Payment of the credits on account. The version of the debit and cash on credit. The reason is balance the asset or liquid. E. Fast aircraft and people the questions. Cash on debit and income on credit. The reason in because asset increase. F. Record of cash from cost price proposal will be on account. Asset on debit and income on credit. The reason in because the property increases. Z. Payment of cash invoices to creditors. The burden on the debit and cash on credit. The reason in balance. Hey. Payment of a 3 years increase royalty. The conference of the points on the debit and cash on the credit include balance. The burden increase and the asset debtors. I. Include three explains burden of the debit and cash on the credit. The reason in balance. The burden increase. G. Receipts of cash of surface to be forfeit the infrastructures cash on debit and income on credit. The reason is balance asset increase. Well, my audience, my answer to the equation on number 3 is hard. That's all my answer to the equation on part B, and I provide to the equation on part C. The equation on part C detail with the article and video. I start to answer the equation on part C. The recent equation in place read the accounting book that has been given my your lately. Mention the title of the books and how reads the books, how many figures does the book have, how many comprise does the book have, and what does reference carefully tell you. Well, my audience, my answer to the equation on number 1 is the title of his book in about posting journal entries to general require accounts. This book has 329 pages. The general journal is a permanent record organized by account number. Posting is the process of transferring information from the journal to individual accounts in the ledger. The trial balance is about the total debit equate to total credit in the ledger. Accounts swayed by a business or kept on speaker matters or orders in a book of file out called a ledger. It is informed from a number of reasons. This accounts a record of the import of business transaction on access account used by a business. It also helps managers with the account balance of a specific account. Answer. Well, there's all my answer to the equation number 1, and then provide to the equation number 2. You can get the article on the Y group and your muse. Explain the accounts of the article on your own English words. Well, my audience, my answer to the equation on number 2 is her the information informant of the property the on enrollment. Plans individual records and network of association plans require or the tense domain of the following records net plans to add and human net everything to survive everything when as required notably the human how the protesting it nobody of living trees on the earth how can causing is with the expression of the human globalization with as of now we will now to you. Globalization can question the right of a company any price. Information recorded throughout how the years turn into an inference that can wither most of a stress human works inner's even to balls numerous new adventures are embraced for entrance of busy. Demonstrating their purpose of current market potential. Eager nor talk after by ensuring consequence of encompassing and prepared monstrous only penetrating borders on by the human purpose in expanding always alongside expanding human purpose from years to year at a long rate. There was detail from the purpose get to be one of the fundamental variable detail are roads whose a ton of natural harm the we regulation or interest. A worldwide temperance elevation comprises the from those numerous impact ecology contribution et cetera. Answer: will that all? My answer to the equation number 2. And when for that the equation number 3, what are the titles or the video above? How are the speakings in the videos about the speaking discuss in the video about explain the icons of the video? Well, my audience, my answer to the expression on number 3 is her line number 1. Video detail about econ business. The speaker is less letters accounting business. The expression of accounting business will introduce you to some business accounting principle, accounting concepts, and accounting terminology. Only you become familiar with some of their style and comforting, you will feel comfortable navigating through and the expansion, fuzzy and other factors of accounting concepts come. Link video number 2, video detail about role, reasons, numerical, accounts, and goal result of accounting. The speakers is airs CBCA commoners. Accounting is a process of recording, analysis, and summarizing financial statement in a significant number and in writing result. Therefore, accounting is both science and art. Forever, the term of tense it is learned in CG of smile in CG in is very important to have a for some of accounting for proper management of an entity's business operations, and accounting must have a good understanding of the times in accounting and details of accounts. An account is the systematic presentation of all the transactions related to a professional help. An account source the summary records of transaction related to a conversion or trade. Thank you, sir. Good morning.